told the US that it's ready for any type of war after retaliating against Donald Trump's latest tariffs. The country responded to Mr. Trump by imposing 10 to 15% tariffs on American farm products being imported into the country. A spokesman from China's foreign ministry claims the US is using the issue of fentanyl as an excuse to raise tariffs. Fentanyl starts in China, folks. US President Donald Trump claims he raised tariffs on China from 10% to 20% because the country failed to stop shipments of the opioid to America.
China fires back at the US. We are ready for any type of war. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says US is prepared to go to war with China over tariff threats. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has declared the US is prepared to go to war with China, hours after alarming threats from Beijing in response to President Trump's stiff new tariffs. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth declared early Wednesday that the U.S. is prepared to go to war with China, hours after alarming threats from Beijing in response to President Trump's stiff new tariffs. "We're prepared," Hegseth said on Fox News' Fox and Friends in response to China saying it was ready to fight any type of war. "Those who long for peace must prepare for war," Hegseth said, stressing it was important to be strong. "That's why we're rebuilding our military. That's why we're re-establishing deterrence in the warrior ethos. We live in a dangerous world with powerful, ascendant countries with very different ideology. They're rapidly increasing their defense spending, modern technology. They want to supplant the United States," the Defense CC continued. "If we want to deter war with the Chinese or others, we have to be strong." Hegseth's threat came after China declared late Tuesday they were ready to clap back if the U.S. was bent on waging a trade or tariff war. Soon after, Trump's initial 10% tariff on Chinese imports doubled to 20%. "If war is what the U.S. wants, be it a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we're ready to fight till the end," Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lin Jian said in a statement. China swiftly retaliated against the fresh tariffs, announcing its own 10%, 15% hikes to import levies covering a range of American agricultural and food products. It also placed 25 U.S. firms under export and investment restrictions on national security grounds. Hegseth, meanwhile, later insisted Trump had a great relationship with Chinese President Xi Jinping, and the U.S. would continue to push for historic peace and historic opportunities. "My job as the Secretary of Defense is to make sure we're ready," he said. "We need the defense spending, the capabilities, the weapons, and the posture in the Indo-Pacific, which is something we're very much focused." Like and subscribe for more. Thanks.